Cheers to eat. We all love baguettes, so I made my own. But this is a baguette with a twist. I guess you can call it a Frenchman with a Mediterranean flair.
We will need 500 grams of wheat flour type 550, 35 grams of sourdough starter, the recipe is on the card above, 270 to 300 milliliters of lukewarm water, depends on the flour you use. Mix them well with a spatula until combined. Then change it to a mixer with a kneading hook. You can also knead it with your hands for a good 5 to 10 minutes. We will also need 10 grams or a quarter cube of fresh yeast, which I forgot. Keep kneading the dough until it's smooth and sticky. Then we can add some Mediterranean elements into our baguette. 80 grams of sun-dried tomatoes, minced. 30 grams of poppy seeds. Believe it or not, these tiny seeds can really make you high. Add them into our kneaded dough. Then add 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 7 grams of salt. Knead them all together again with a mixer for at least 2 to 3 minutes to a sticky dough. You can then transfer it to a greased bowl. I simply left it in my mixing bowl and cover it with a lid or a plastic foil. Leave it at a warm place and let it rest for about an hour. Our dough grew quite a bit after an hour. Dust the working surface with a bit of loose flour to prevent it from sticking. Here is how we are going to knead it. Press the dough flat roughly with our palm, then fold the edges to the middle with a dough scraper. Then press it flat again and fold it to the middle. We are going to repeat this process for a few times. By a few times, I mean as many times as possible. Then we can transfer it back into the bowl and cover it again. It will take about 30 minutes to rest. The dough has grown slightly, then we can take it out and knead it the same way again for a few times. Then once again, let it rest for another 30 minutes. After that, we can finally start shaping our baguettes. Here is how I do it. Transfer our dough to the dusted working surface. Cut it in half with a dough scraper roughly. This recipe should have a yield of 2 large baguettes. Knead it for a couple of times, then roll it into a long oval shape. Fold the top longer edge to the 2/3 and fold the bottom up. Shape it evenly, then dust the surface with a bit of loose flour. Roll the one end of the dough to the other to form a cylinder shape. Then we can just roll it with our hands to a long stick. We are pretty much rolling and pulling at the same time until we get the correct shape. Then we can let them rest on a kitchen towel next to each other. They might look sad and wrinkly at this stage, but don't worry. Cover them with a kitchen towel and let them rest for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, they will look so smooth and elastic, almost like a baby's butt cheeks. Transfer them carefully to a piece of baking paper without losing the shape. Make a few cuts on the surface. Cut them slightly deeper so the pattern will still be visible after baking. Proof them with a thin layer of water before giving them into the oven. Set the oven at 250 degrees Celsius. We are going to bake them on the middle rack. Throw in a few ice cubes to generate steam. Bake them for about 15 to 20 minutes. After the first 5 minutes, turn the oven to 220 degrees Celsius. By the end of the baking process, you can open the oven door slightly to release the steam. Good baguettes should have a hard crust on the outside and soft on the inside. Did you subscribe yet? If not, click here, click here, click here. Every day watch new videos at 6 p.m. Here are my 2 recommended videos. Thanks for watching. See ya. 谢谢大家。